Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday service here at Ohm Center for Spiritual Living. I want to welcome everybody in the sanctuary, everybody joining us on Zoom and online, and everybody joining us at another time. My name is Reverend Natasha Eckholm. I'm a staff minister here, and it is my pleasure to say good morning to all of you today on this beautiful October Sunday. We're thrilled to welcome Reverend Angela Geary from Awaken Hearts as our speaker this morning. And Lucille Park is our musician today, so let's welcome her too. And without further ado, I'm going to invite our practitioner, Mary, to, hold on, I guess we need to sing our song first. Yeah, it would be a good idea, wouldn't it? So if you'd like, please stand and join us as we sing our starting song.
Great to be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Sylvia and Victoria are going to join me. Oh, all right. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Put your hands together. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Get ready now. My soul is welcome here. 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 Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Very nice. Thank you, Lucille. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you, good people.
Victoria.
Okay, well, now it's my pleasure to welcome our practitioner, Mary Hart, up to lead us in our meditation. So please take a seat and get comfortable.
So the reading today is from Ernest Holmes from The Science of Mind. I just invite you to get comfortable, close your eyes, just take a deep breath in and release. As I go forth today and embark on the wonderful experience of living, I am on a journey of self-discovery and also of the discovery of the self hidden in everyone and the power back of everything. So it is in this moment, right here, right now, that I just turn my awareness to the presence of the divine, that one infinite life that lives and moves and has its being, its experiences, its expression in the manifest universe, in the omniverse, in the multiverse. And I'm remembering who I am, one with that divine life, that I'm a necessary and vital organ in the infinite body of God. I know that each one of us here, I know that we are individually and collectively an expression of the divine. So what I know is that Spirit is here, right now, that we stand on holy ground, that this is sacred space. I know that the words are thine, the voice is mine. Spirit moving through me, through each one of us, inspiring Reverend Angela Geary, inspiring our musicians and our technology and our hospitality, just inspiring and informing this community through divine grace. And so I just know that as we come together, we just lift our own individual vibrations. We lift the vibration and the energy of the planet. I know that through our power, through our oneness, we are just healing the planet, healing ourselves, healing everyone that we come in contact with, and just spreading love and peace wherever we go. So I'm just so grateful for this time together. I know that this is by divine appointment. There are no accidents, that each one of us is here on purpose, standing in our truth, standing in our power. And I am indeed grateful. I give thanks for this time together. I just allow it to unfold in perfect divine right order, and I call it forth into being by saying, let it be done. And so it is. And now let's bring back Miss Lucille Park.
Thank you so much. I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. goodness is running after, it's running after me. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. God, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Thank you so much, Lucille. That was beautiful. And now, everyone, please join me in welcoming our speaker this morning, Reverend Angela Geary.
Thank you, everybody. So lovely to be here. So nice to look out and see all your bright lights. And welcome to everyone on Zoom and YouTube. And let us just continue to have a wonderful experience of spirit together this morning, right? So glad. So I wanted to talk about that divine power within us. Start with a quote from Ernest Holmes. I live in the faith that there is a presence and power greater than I am, that nurtures and supports me in ways I could never even imagine. I know that this presence is all-knowing and all-power, and it is always right where I am. That could be the whole talk right there, right? We know this. And so I wanted to talk today about how we can nurture, how we can align with, how we can make welcome that divine power within us. You know, so many people have had near-death experiences or numinous mystical experiences where they actually feel themselves as that ultimate reality, that unseen essence, unencumbered by conditioning or false beliefs or doubts or fears, unencumbered by the physical realm that we're in. Derek Rydell, who wrote Emergence and the Abundance Projects, talks about nearly dying in a reef in a reef in Jamaica, I guess, and he got stuck to all these fiery, spiky corals and couldn't find a way out, and was struggling and looking for a way, and finally, he said he just sort of surrendered. He thought, okay, this is it. He just let go. And something happened in that moment, and he noticed that a couple of feet away or behind him was an opening where he could get out. And he said from that moment on, in that moment, he was transformed. And he recognized that who he thought he was just an amalgamation, I don't think I'm saying that right, that word, an amalgamation of all his conditioning and all the false beliefs and all the race-conscious thoughts that we buy into. And he got to experience himself as the pure power and as the pure light and as the pure joy of spirit. And he said as he looked out at the coral reef, at all the bright, shiny, sort of luminous plants and corals that were growing there, he realized all his life he'd been chasing those bright, shiny objects, looking on the outside for that thing that would bring him that peace and that harmony and that grace. And he realized he was so much more than that. that there's a power within us all, perfect, whole, and complete. And we already have within us everything that we need. There's such power in just trusting and knowing that. There's a divine presence. There's a divine light and power greater than anything we're experiencing, greater than the deepest heartbreak, greater than the most challenging illness or condition or breakdown in relationship or whatever it is we're dealing with. There's something greater within us. Many of you may have read the book by Anita Munjari, Dying to Be Me. She's another person who was dying from cancer and was in a coma and had a near-death experience and got kind of lifted up and watched them all working on her in the emergency room and felt the power of the love that she was. The power of spirit within her and the power of love. And the message she got when she was in that altered state is, love yourself fully. That's what we're here to do. The power of love. And she came back, and was healed miraculously of stage 4 cancer. And nobody really knew how and why. So her book is very inspiring. So we know that. And this is how we, I think, as individuals and as communities and groups can participate in the awakening of the planet that's happening right now, right? Through the power of love, through us tapping into that infinite truth of who we are and always have been. So that right now on the planet, while there's a lot of challenging stuff going on, it's also a powerful time. It's a time of evolution. It's a time of soul expansion. It's a time where we're being called to step into that greatness and that power that we're born to be, that shifting, the shift that needs to happen is that shift in consciousness, like Derek Rydell had, like Anita Munjari had. We don't all get to have those experiences. I think it makes it a little easier maybe when we have those experiences, but we know we have that power within us. Jean Houston says that she calls this time on the planet jump time. And she says, you are part of an evolutionary happening, something shifting in our brains that we've been coded for. There's something shifting in our brains that we've been coded for. And what we've been coded for is the origins of a new humanity. The shamans would call that the Homo luminous. Not Homo sapiens, the man or the beings that know, but light beings. That's what we're being called to transform into right now. And she says we have an understanding of the nature of the universe and how we are a fractal equivalent of this universe in our own space-time suit, So, Ernest Holmes would say we're a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? That infinite intelligence and that divine life as lives and moves and has its being through and as us. And right now on the planet, we have access to a level of mind understanding and co-creation never known before. It is said that all these light codes are downloading. There's a shifting in consciousness and expansion that's happening. And I think those of us that have been studying these principles, and I'm just here to remind all of you of what you already know, are here we're part of this moving into the light that the planet is needing right now. And so she says, we move into our divine power in this way, into the love that we're born to be. We are the evolutionary happening in mind and body and heart. And she says, of course, this is Jean Houston, of course we're feeling a little lost right now. Perhaps we are, with all that's going on. And she said, if we're not lost, we can't be found. And foundness is coming. That's the good news. Foundness is coming in the midst of it all. And the foundness is not to be found in the conditions, circumstances, and appearances of this earthly plane. It's to be found in the higher realms. It's to be found in the light of spirit. And that pattern of divine power and divine love and infinite wisdom and peace is already within us. There's a seed pattern in everything in nature, and everything comes from a perfect pattern, including us. It's already there. And when conditions are congruent with the pattern emerges. Our work to do, I think, is to make the conditions congruent, to make it welcome rather than make it happen, to make that divine power, to make that divine love, to make that divine peace and joy, to make it welcome, to get out of our own way, so to speak, create time and space for ourselves so that we can welcome the power and the love that divine impulse that just urges to express itself through and as us. It wants to. And then we're in that place where we have the power to co-create with spirit. So I think in order for this to happen, we have to be in alignment, to live in alignment with truth. And that makes it welcome, right? That makes it welcome. Many of us know if our tires are out of alignment, we're going to get a little bit of a bumpy, unsteady ride in our car, right? They're going to wear out, and they're not going to function to the fullest capability that they could. I know there are times for me where I feel like those tires that are out of alignment, or maybe a little worn out, a little out of balance, right? We get that way. We can't help it. We're human beings as well as spiritual beings. And so it's easy to get pulled into the physical, to get out of alignment. So standing in alignment in yoga, the Dandasana is the standing pose, and it's said to be the root of all poses. And it's so important to stand in alignment with feet on the floor, toes spread out, knees over ankles, pelvis, right? Those of you who practice yoga or any kind of exercising or anything know this. Pelvis over knees, shoulders and head aligned, strong core aligned. When I'm in this place, the rest of the poses come easily because I'm aligned. So we line up with ourselves. Alignment with thinking, with heart, and with body. And I think we have to become embodied with whatever that spiritual truth is. It's not just an intellectual thing. We open and listen to the guidance and words of spirit, and we let it fill. We check in with our heart, and we check in with our body, our gut, the second brain, the seat of our intuition and wisdom, and we let it flow down. I had a client the other day who called with a dilemma and not sure what to do about getting a new roommate situation. And we were going back and forth, and I said something, and it got really quiet on the other end of the phone. And she said, no, I got it. That's it. That's the truth. That's what I needed to hear. She said, I felt it in my body. We ever had that experience? Like you just get it, right? And maybe you don't know maybe it's not even what you wanted to hear, you know? Maybe you think, well, yeah, that's the truth, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But we get it. Get it deep down. It's an embodied feeling. I heard Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis from the Seattle Church talk about Ernest Holmes' famous saying that we need to be open at the top, you know? And for me, that's always meant that he knew that consciousness was going to continue to expand and grow way after he'd gone, so not to get just stuck in the teachings of science of mind, but to be open at the top, to keep going. And Kathy Ann said, I think he meant too, open at the top, open in our crown chakra. Stay open. I love that. Open at the top, to let the divine guidance flow through us, to listen, because we are wired for guidance. And Spirit is always communicating to us in subtle and maybe not so subtle ways. And so we can listen deeply. In ancient cultures, as you know, and probably still in some indigenous cultures, people were removed, shamans and prophets were removed from the mundane tasks of daily life, so that they could listen. So that they could listen for themselves, and so that they could listen for others. Jesus went to the desert to pray. He knew the value of aligning. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree. Saint Francis communed with the animals and the plants and was quiet and still, prayed in the woods. All the saints and the greats. Gandhi apparently sat in the silence weaving. That was his way of creating time out. Because, as I said, that power speaks to us. And ours, again, is to create the time and space and to train ourselves to listen deeply to the call. This is our spiritual practice. This is our time in silence. This is our time of gathering in these spaces where we can feel Spirit. Because there's no challenge, no condition, no appearance, no heartache, no heartbreak greater than the love and the compassion and the power and the sweetness and the peace of Spirit. And all of that lies within us. We are that sweetness. We are that grace. We are that loving compassion. Just to say to yourself right now, I am that. I am that. Let's take a breath. So we create congruent conditions. So let's practice, just a little something to practice together. So if you're comfortable, just to close your eyes. And maybe rub the top of your head to kind of open up that energy center that we call the crown chakra. Disc of spinning violet light right there. This is our spiritual center. This is where we're connected to the universal spirit. This is where we can be open for wisdom to download. And take a breath. And exhale. And take another breath. And exhale. And just simply ask, what do I need to know today? And just listen. What do I need to know today? And maybe practice bringing that. Can you embody that? Those words that came through. And if nothing came through, that's okay. Can you feel it in your heart? Can you bring it down into your belly and feel it in your whole body? For me, as I prepared for this talk, sitting out in the car outside Ohm this morning, I practiced this. What do I need to know today or in giving this talk? And what came through loud and clear was speak from your heart. And I could feel my body resonate with that. See if your body can say yes to that. And just notice how that feels. Beautiful. And breathe in and breathe out. And take a nice full breath and feel your awareness coming back. I'm not quite finished talking. I'm doing great, everybody. Beautiful. Practice. We know so much. We know so much. Let us practice. Let us tune in to the subtle energies of spirit. Spirit's energy is very subtle. And so we have to be highly attuned to the threads and the energies and the subtlety of the flow running through us in order to really get the message. So people often ask me, and you may ask yourself this, how do we know when it's our highest self speaking or it's fear speaking? How do we know that? And I think a couple of good questions to ask is, does what I hear harm no one? And does this express more life? And if the answer is it expresses more life and it harms no one, then chances are it's spirit, it's infinite wisdom. If it's harmful to others, if it's restricting or limiting or judging that voice in any way, it's not of spirit. So we get to practice and to listen to our body, because the body reacts to truth and non-truth. We know that. We know when someone is telling us something and it's not really maybe resonating with us. We know when perhaps we're not being as transparent and truthful with ourselves as we need to be. We can feel it. We can feel it. The body knows. So the body knows when it gets the download of spirit. It has no doubt about it. So we move into alignment with the body, with the mind, with the heart. Affirmations then support the download that we get. We get the words. We're tuned into guidance. We embody them, and then we become the epicenter of those words. Then we're oozing with it. We've gotten the download. Yes, that's right. I am a divine power plant. I am the love and power of spirit. And every cell is dancing in joy, saying yes. And the heart is open, resonating with it. We affirm it. And then we just become this epicenter of that truth, and we radiate it. And we manifest more and more of it. I think I mentioned last time that song by MC Yogi called Heaven is Here When the Mind is Clear. Heaven is here when the mind is clear. And that's what embodying the download, listening to infinite guidance, that's what stepping into our power is really about. It's heaven. The mind is clear. And it's like going to a spa. We don't just go once and never go back. Right? It doesn't last forever, that spa treatment. Wonderful and all as it is, whatever we do there, we go regularly, or as regularly as we can. And so we have to have our spiritual spa, right? Is we go there again and again and again, connecting to spirit. And I know for me, the more challenging things get on the outside, and the more I'm pulled into all that's going on in the world, and fearful thoughts may come up, the more I need to go to spirit. The more I need to be silent. The more I need to withdraw from the world of form and create that. And then we bring that higher consciousness. We bring that sense of all is well, where I am, spirit is, to our daily life, so that our whole energy body and our whole being starts to embody higher and higher states. And when and as challenges and difficulties arise, and we all know they do, we have compassion for ourselves, and we have compassion for each other for whatever we're experiencing. But we know we can rely on tapping into that power and that love, because we've practiced aligning with it. So we draw on it. The Tao says, when the master runs into difficulties, she stops and she gives herself to it. What's in the way is the way. Divine power within us knows that. Okay, there's this. Let me not be fooled by it. Let me not be distracted by it. Let me come back to that embodiment of that divine power, of that infinite love, of that freedom and joy, that seed pattern of perfection that we have nurtured and watered and created congruent conditions to shine through us. We use that when difficulties arise. And lastly, just a word about the power of prayer. I love this movement because we pray. You know, we pray. And we affirm, and we know the truth. And we can feel the power of prayer. And Carolyn Mace tells many stories about the power of prayer. And again, talking about someone she knew or knew of who had a near-death experience, an accident, was in a very bad car accident. And she was hovering between life and death, sort of looking down at her car, and she could hear the voices of the cars behind her. And some of the voices of the people, and some of them were like, oh God, I'm gonna be late for work, oh, there's a holdup, oh, you know, all those things. And she said in the 5th car down, someone was praying for her. And she could feel it. She could feel the power of that prayer. You should never underestimate the power of prayer and who's going to feel it. I think I told you all last time, too, another of Carolyn Mace's stories is of someone having a near-death experience and looking down and seeing all these little sparks coming up from the earth, and she didn't know what they were. And it became clear to her, because I think she was hovering between life and death, that those were all the prayers that people were praying for her in that moment. So sometimes it feels like, what can I do? What can I do with the people, for the people in North Carolina? What can I do for the people in Lebanon and Israel and Ukraine and all over Africa, all over the world where things are happening? What can I do for my dear friend that's struggling? What can we do for each other? We can pray. We can pray. And that's the most powerful thing we can do. Every prayer is felt, I believe, and every prayer is answered. So that's another thing that we can tap into. And we can have faith in the seeds of intention that we plant through the power of our prayer, through the power of setting of our intention. This is from, who's this from? Henry David Thoreau. Though I do not believe that a plant will spring up where no seed has been, I have great faith in a seed. Convince me that you have a seed there, and I am prepared to expect wonders. So the invitation is to have faith in the seed of the divine power and the divine love and the divine beauty, peace, and freedom that you are. To have faith in that, to nurture that seed, to create conditions where you can feel into that and be it. So I'm going to end with another little inner exercise to just close our eyes right now if you're comfortable. Maybe let these words kind of wash over you. Can you breathe in and know, take in this affirmation? I am a divine power plant. From Derek Rydell says, we are a divine power plant. Can you feel the power of that? I am, and to say it 3 times to yourself, I am a divine power plant. I am a divine power plant. I am a divine power plant. Let your heart say yes. Let your body say yes. Feel the flow of that truth from the from the soles of your feet, all the way up your legs, your pelvis, your torso, your back, into your heart space. Feel it in your arms and wrists and hands. Feel it in the neck and the shoulders, and the lovely face is alive with that truth. Feel it in every part of your being. Breathe it in. And from John O'Donohue, breathe these words in. May you recognize in your life the presence, power, and light of your soul. May you realize that you are never alone, that your soul is in its brightness, that your soul in its brightness and belonging connects you intimately with the rhythm of the universe. We breathe in these truths. We put our faith in the one power, the one presence, the one heart, the one love, the ultimate reality, the parallel universe, the unseen realm back of all that's seen. No power greater than it. We recognize it as the light that shines back of all of creation. Knowing it shines forth as me, as each one of us, and as all sentient beings everywhere. We celebrate the divine light and love that pours forth in all of creation. And so I speak my word now for us, trusting that we simply allow Spirit to pour itself into us, to be revealed through and as us. That we are steadfast in our commitment to creating congruent conditions for that divine pattern of power and love and grace and sweetness to reveal itself as us. We sit in the silence. We seek out nature. We meditate. We have faith in the power of our prayer. We practice listening. Listening. What is mine to do today, dear God? Goddess, what are you wanting to say to me today? Divine power within me, show me the way. We listen. Wired for divine guidance are we. Spirit communicating in a myriad of ways through and as us. And we are acute, we are attuned, we are lined up, aligned, listening. How grateful I am for the greater truth being revealed through and as us individually, and then collectively, and that as we do this, our planet is healed. Whoops. And peace has its way. And love leads the way. How grateful I am that we recognize the healing power of love itself, that we commit to loving ourselves more fully, to loving each other more fully, to loving those we don't agree with more fully, to giving all to love. And I give thanks for the power of these words I speak. I have faith in them. I release them to the very soul of the universe, that law of attraction that has already said yes, because it is just waiting. Waiting, that pattern already exists in the unseen realm. We just have to move into the frequency of it. And then we feel it. We feel it. Let's breathe it in again. Feel these words of truth. Truth. Thank you, Spirit, for beauty, for truth, for goodness. Thank you for this opportunity to come together on holy ground in sacred gathering together. Thank you for the power of this. And I release my word. I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Yeah,
Reverend Angela.
wow. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Please join me in welcoming back Lucille Park.
You bet. Thank you. Okay. A good old bluegrass tune. And I have to say, that was such a tremendous, wow, that was no words. Thank you so much. Okay. I bet you may recognize this. Here we go. There's a dark and a troubled side of life, but there's a bright and a sunny side too. But if you meet with the darkness and strife, the sunny side we also may view. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. Well, the storm and its fury broke today, crushing hopes that we cherish so dear. Clouds and storms will in time pass away. The sun again will shine bright and clear. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. Let us greet with a song of hope each day. Though the moments could be cloudy or fair, let us trust in our Lord always to keep us everyone in its care. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all our way if we keep on the sunny side of life. If we'll keep on the sunny side of life. If we'll keep on the sunny side of life.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucille. So now that we are upraised and uplifted by this wonderful talk and wonderful music, we are now at the time in our service of giving and receiving. So I want to invite you. There should be a envelope with a card, either in front of you in the pocket of the seat or next to you. And if there isn't, please raise your hand, and our hospitality folks will come by and give one to you. You are invited to write down on that card anything you would like prayer for this week, and our ministers and practitioners will be praying on those requests. And if you have a gift to offer today, please feel welcome to put it in the envelope, or alternately use one of the other means. You can use Venmo or PayPal or other means that are on our website, where there's also information on the cards about. And while I'll give you a moment to do that, I'm going to make a few announcements to just keep in mind. On, let's see, on Wednesdays, we have our Al-Anon meeting, which is both in person and virtual. That's at 6:30. On Fridays, Sound Bowl meditation at 7 p.m. And our practitioner, Jody, is going to be offering a mental equivalence certificated class that starts on October 31st, and it runs for 6 weeks until December 5th. And then coming up this week on Thursday, the 10th, our beloved Reverend Suzette is going to be receiving a doctorate from Emerson Institute, and she'll be receiving that at the Associated New Thought Network meeting, which is taking place this week, and that's on Thursday between 2 and 3:30. And she did send out an email with a Zoom link if you'd like to tune in and be kind of with her in consciousness as she experiences that. And if you didn't get that email for some reason, please feel welcome to speak to me or our practitioners or other OM members so we can get that to you. On the 17th, coming up at Reverend Angela's and her Awakened Hearts community will have their third Thursday program here at 7 p.m. And then coming up on October 20th after service, that's a Sunday, there will be a succulent and pumpkin party after the service. So you can bring a small pumpkin or you can get one here, and there will be an art activity with that. And next Sunday I'll be speaking, so I know you'll all be here too. So all right. So let's just move into a moment of turning within and simply recognizing that in this moment, as we step into the river of giving and receiving, we know that our gifts come to us, pressed down and multiplied, and they move through us into the community, blessing OM and allowing OM to bless all of the communities that it engages with here in San Diego and beyond. We are so grateful to be part of this infinite circulation of good. And so we simply give thanks for all of the blessings of life, for all of the blessings of the divine, and for this time of fellowship together. And so I simply release this word, knowing that all is good and all is well, and say, and so it is.
So it is.
Okay. Come on back. So we're going to close as we do here by, I'm going to invite you to join me in our Om affirmation, and then we will all sing the peace song together. So please stand and join me in this. I am an expression of God, born into the richness and abundance of the indwelling presence. Today I walk upon my world, consciously creating oneness within and around me. And so it is.
Okay.
So please take a hand. There's someone next to you.
Okay. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now, right now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you. And if anybody would like prayer, our practitioner Mary is here. So you're welcome. And hello, Jody and Dee. Nice to see you on Zoom. Glad you're with us today.